Well, you do bring up an interesting point, and I will give Joe Biden props for this.
This is going to be good.
Okay. What? What?
What?
What?
What?
I'll give Joe Biden props for this. You're right. Bill De Blasio is willing to say out loud what you're supposed to not say out loud.
Yes.
At least Joe Biden would have whispered it.
But
Joe Biden would have said, well, guys, we need the vaccine. And then Jen Psaki would have come behind him with the pooper scooper.
Wesley Hunt.
I'm Wrendon Hunt.
And you're in the hunt.
This is opposite day today. I notice you're wearing some loafers with no socks, and I'm wearing boots. It's opposite day. This is going to be our
Merry
last
Christmas.
Yes. This is for all of our listeners who say put some socks on. This is your Christmas present. I have socks on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you. One day of the year, huh?
Yeah, just one day.
The
a
most
year.
wonderful time of the year.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Socks. That's great.
So this is our last episode before the new year, and very excited. We had a lot of fun last week. We had been away for some time, and it's just nice to be in here before the new year. And what we're going to be talking about today, in preparation of The Matrix coming out.
Yeah.
You and I.
To the listener, Wrendon and I are huge Matrix fans. Even the last two that weren't that good, even three that wasn't very good. I recognize that I am a Matrix
person
fan.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm just a huge fan. I cannot wait for this to come out.
Yeah. And the first one, it literally changed my life.
It did.
It changed the way that I thought about life.
It's a life-changing movie.
Yeah. It really is. And even if you look at some of these pop culture things that inflect that really touch on the way that you see the world, that you see society, The Matrix is one of those for me.
Is that why you're a black Republican?
That's part of it.
Because we've been red pilled.
Yes. Yeah. Think about things in your own way. Don't just let somebody plug you in and dial in what you should be thinking.
Yeah.
Free your mind. Emancipate your thoughts.
I'm more than a battery.
Yes. Yeah. Emancipate your thoughts, man.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to delve into today
is the JUMP program.
Yeah, the JUMP program. I know Kung Fu.
Great movie.
And so what we're going to talk about today is really this inflection point in life and culture. The red or the blue pill. When Morpheus asks that question, he has those two pills that are in each hand, and you see in his mirrored sunglasses, which is one of the most iconic points in any movie that I've ever seen. You're sitting at the precipice of making a choice of who you're going to be. And the choices that you make impact the choices that society makes.
Right.
That one person, Neo, yes, he was a chosen one, but at the same time, all of us are chosen for something.
Yeah.
And we're always staring these unbelievable decisions square in the face, square in those mirrored glasses.
Morpheus was chosen to find the one. Trinity was chosen to be the one's companion.
Yes.
You know, it's just the Trinity, right?
Yes. It's
so great.
It's all together. It's biblical in many ways. It's all together.
Yeah, it's just great.
So as we think about the Matrix and the red or the blue pill and what life we're going to live in and what country we're going to live in, COVID's bringing up a lot of these different decisions that we have to make about who we're going to be.
Right. Someone will play a clip from Bill De Blasio that came out yesterday on CNN. He was talking to Michael Schmerkanish.
I'm sure because De Blasio, I'm sure because of who he is and the policies he stood for, I'll probably agree with every bit of this clip.
I bet you will.
Not.
I bet you will. It's not. It's like Borat.
Yeah. Not agree with this clip.
I will not
like this clip.
I will agree with De Blasio not.
No, I'm going to like this clip. Not.
I want you to listen to this very carefully. It's 55 seconds long.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel their lives. I mean, the hard thing, I feel it here in New York City. By the way, I'm from Philadelphia, so it's not like I live in a rural area. But I feel it in every block that I walk in New York City. But if I were in the middle part of the country with you, I don't think we'd see masks. I don't think we'd be showing our vax cards anywhere. So I come back to that point where unless everybody's on the same page in the country, we're kind of screwed.
And you know how you get on the same page? People have to lead. So, look, I believe with enough leadership, enough mandates, we're going to get a hell of a lot more people vaccinated. The more people vaccinated, the more we actually make the transition to a time when COVID is in the background, not the foreground. And we know these mandates work, and we know people respond. Look, human beings are pretty predictable. If you say your paycheck depends on it, or your ability to enjoy life and go do the things you want to do, people will make the practical decision overwhelmingly, and they'll go get vaccinated.
Enough leadership and enough mandates. So no, it's cool. We're going to make these people do this. We're going to plug you in to the Matrix.
Yeah.
And make you do this and not make any decisions on your own.
And you're going to rely on us, the government, because we know what's best for you. And as long as you do whatever we tell you to do, we know what buttons to push to manipulate the human psyche, like tying their paychecks and their well-being and their lives to getting vaccinated or not, mandated by the government. Oh.
And we're still talking about a very small minority of people within our country.
Okay, so Wrendon, this is where this just gets fascinating to me, because these people are saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
They've been emboldened to actually say this and make an argument on national television. That's how far gone that they are right now. So if anybody wonders why we are on the conservative side of things or why we are Republicans, listen to that clip.
Yeah.
Let's listen to that. Yeah. And for those that are on the other side, this is a mayor of the largest city in America. Former mayor of the largest city in America talking about forcing people to get a vaccine. Now, the reason why this is a problem is because you and I think we talked about this last week, living down here in Houston, COVID's dead. There's no COVID. We understand, we live with it. Sure. People make their own decisions rather than that they do or don't go out. I got a call from a buddy of mine today. We're actually supposed to meet up later. His daughter tested positive. He tested negative, but wants to be careful. Boom. Individual decision, individual choice. I applaud that. I probably would do the exact same thing. Yeah. But Wrendon, I haven't worn a mask. And how long?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Wrendon, I don't have a mask in my truck.
Well, I can tell you, and this is what makes this.
Not one time have I been asked for a vaccine card.
No, never.
Not one time.
Never.
Wrendon, there was a guy in Panera Bread in New York City that didn't.
Panera Bread? Probably sure. This is Panera Bread so good.
Yeah, that's another one we got to play.
Yeah.
He was in Panera Bread. He got arrested because he refused to show his proof of vaccine in New York City. This happened yesterday. In Panera Bread. This dude,
how do you get arrested?
This dude just went in to go get like a walnut chicken, salad and a sandwich in Panera Bread.
And he got
arrested, Wrendon.
Well, you do bring up an interesting point, and I will give Joe Biden props for this.
This is gonna be good.
Okay. What? I'll give Joe Biden props for this. You're right. Bill De Blasio is willing to say out loud what you're supposed to not say out loud.
Yes.
At least Joe Biden would have whispered it.
But
Joe Biden would have said, well, guys, we need the vaccine. And then Jen Psaki would have come behind him with the pooper scooper.
Because you can't. So this is what's scary in my opinion, especially with the Decepticon Megatron variant that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
And that is, first of all, if you're vaccinated, apparently you have very mild symptoms of this particular strain. Number two, apparently it's the mildest strain that we have seen yet.
Yeah.
Number three, this administration talked about how they had Kamala Harris. We had no idea that this thing was going to mutate and this, that, and that's just not true. I'm not making. I'm looking at your
and
face,
that's the
Wrendon.
thing. I mean,
I am not making this up. These people are saying this stuff.
You criticize Republicans for being anti-science,
but
and what virus is not mutated?
They've all
the flu
mutated.
does it every year.
Every year.
Like, why is that a surprise?
Every year. And now they want us to shut down the country again for every little variant.
Well, here's the thing, and this is what people need to realize. COVID is not going away.
Never. It's here. It's here.
People will be getting COVID in 10, 15, 20 years.
Forever.
COVID's not going away.
Not going anywhere.
The flu is not going away,
No.
okay? And when you talk about the blue pill or the red pill, professional sports are a really good example of what's happening in that era.
Yes.
Right? Look at what the NFL is doing. The NFL realized you can only pander and gulp down those red pills for so long before you have to come to reality and realize that you're running a business and you're not putting people at jeopardy.
Yeah.
You're not. So what the NFL has done now is they've said that if you are vaccinated or you are not symptomatic, they no longer have the testing protocol. They've also, rather than just full-scale canceling games, thanks to Baker Mayfield and others who have said, guys, you got to make a call. Now they're saying, okay, we can postpone games because the amount of time that we thought was the incubation period is no longer the incubation period. Why would they say this? Because we have more data. And if we have more data now, we can think about the smartest ways to continue to run our enterprise and continue to keep the people who work for us gainfully employed. Why aren't we thinking about this as a culture? Hell, the NBA is doing the same thing with Kyrie Irving.
Even Kyrie could play outside of New York. Is this not insane?
They're struggling.
That's not insane. Kyrie Irving can play outside of New York. So the air outside of look, COVID's different. So this is the deal. COVID in New York City is stronger.
It must
That's
be.
the issue.
That's what Mayor De Blasio says. You have to show your vaccine card there
in New York
because
City.
it's a different virus.
But nowhere else.
Unbelievable.
And by the way, Smirkanish, who I would necessarily call a champion of the conservative cause, is literally elucidating him by saying, so if we were in the Midwest, they're not doing any of this. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Red pill, blue pill.
Yes.
Guess what? If you're in Texas, if you're in the Midwest, if you're in Florida, you took the red pill. We're moving on with our lives. That's it. If you want to continue to be living in tyranny to where the government tells you whether or not you have to get a shot or whether or not you could go to Panera Bread without getting arrested, you've been blue pilled.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Hey, another thing is we can't keep blaming this on Trump.
No, you know why?
Trump was with Bill O'Reilly, and what happened in his little talk? He said, "Have you gotten the booster?" Yes, I've gotten the booster.
Yep.
So we can't keep blaming on, well, he's anti-science and everybody who's a Trump. So if you're a Trump supporter, and this idea that anybody who is a Trump supporter is anti-vaccine or anti-booster, that doesn't even make any sense because Trump himself has gotten the vaccine and gotten the booster shot. This has nothing to do with, I like Trump and his policy. This has nothing to do with that. This has to be if you are the intellectual elite and you're saying that people are blindly following a leader, well, that leader has gotten his vaccine and gotten his booster shot. Then what's happening here?
Wrendon, I'm also going to read you a tweet from candidate Joe Biden. 220,000 deaths, period. If you hear nothing else I say tonight, hear this. Anyone who is responsible for that many deaths should not remain president of the United States. Do you know how many people have died from COVID under Joe Biden's watch? 800,000. Hello?
Well,
hello?
Damn you, Internet.
Internet is undefeated. Yeah. Yeah, so anybody to the listener that thinks that we're being hard on this guy, we're being unfair, look, we had 4 years of massive amounts of criticism for conservatives and Trump administration. Okay, that's fine. It's all good and fun till the rabbit got the gun.
Hey.
Be very careful with what you say and how you behave, and what you said for the past 4 years, because this guy is a nightmare to this country.
Yeah. Well, and we've talked about this. This is how race relations play out in this country, left and right. Mm-hmm. I didn't establish the standards. We talked about Juicy Smollett and others, right? We have established a standard in our culture where if anything is done to somebody who's a minority, it's automatically racist.
Yes.
Automatically. That's the standard.
Automatically.
So the standard that Joe Biden set himself, this wasn't a standard that Trump or anybody else set. No. His standard was if this many people die,
220,000.
You got to roll. That's the standard that he set.
Your word's not mine. Your rule's not mine. And now you have the conch, and this is what happens. And then Wrendon, here's what's crazy.
Oh, you did
a
Lord of the Flies thing there. You had the conch. I see what you did there.
See what I did there?
You've been Ivy League educated. I knew it.
You know.
I knew it.
Have you heard of it?
You have the conch.
Cornell?
Yeah,
you
heard of it.
Yeah, you heard of it. Okay, whatever. What's crazy about this is that Wrendon, they're not stopping. They're doubling down on this. And here's what's crazy about it. Here's what's great. What states have the lowest per capita incidences of COVID in the United States?
Uh-oh, this isn't going to be good.
Guess.
We're talking about the red and the blue pill. I'm thinking it's probably not the blue pill states. Yeah.
So
Texas.
Yeah. Oh, and where?
Florida.
Oh, hot damn.
And it's hard because you can't even say it's a population density thing.
I don't want to hear that because I don't want to hear that.
Because we're talking about Texas, Florida. I
don't want to hear that.
Idaho and
so Wrendon,
North
some
Dakota.
of the highest incidences of COVID are happening in New York City, where they have some of the highest vaccination rates as well, and you're still locking people down.
And you're still locking your economy down.
This is the Twilight Zone.
Yes.
This is the Matrix.
And you know what's killing me too is the Omnicron variant. Decepticon variant. This variant,
Megatron,
as we know it to be less fatal, severe, choose your adjective. We know that is the case. And we are running the risk of doing all over again what we did 2 years ago.
Yep.
And that's shutting our economy down. Like we're running the risk on something that we have way better.
It's a mutation
Vaccines.
Of the original. We have better vaccines.
We have better treatments.
Yeah.
Like we figured so much of this out
in 1 year.
And we are going to return to the Matrix. We've been emancipated. We understand things that we can do better. And we're like old boy in the Matrix who just wants to eat a steak,
He said, put me back in.
Just put me back in the Matrix.
Stay back in the Matrix.
That's what we're doing in our culture. Hey, man, just put me back in the Matrix.
See, I don't want to be in the Matrix, though.
No.
And for those who don't want to be in the Matrix, come to Texas.
Hey. But it brings up the question. What's the white rabbit we're chasing, man?
Oh, man. There's a lot of white rabbits.
Hanaro. Shout out to my boy Hanaro in the studio.
There's a lot of rabbits, Wrendon.
You know what I think the white rabbit that we're chasing is? Power.
Of course. Control. If the government can take enough control and enough power, we spend enough money, we get in a big enough deficit, we get as much people dependent on our government as possible. We're going to pay you not to work because of COVID. The more you do that, the more you control
forever.
The population forever.
Yeah.
And that's not what this country is about.
Wesley, we're in a position right now where last week, do you know what percentage of COVID was a Decepticon in the United States?
What?
17%.
You shut up.
Do you know what it is right now?
What?
73%. Okay? This is by far the predominant variant.
You smell that? You smell what I'm stepping in?
Yeah.
Come on.
This is by far the predominant variant.
Come on.
Which, once again, it's what we talked about last week a bit. If the most predominant variant is the one that is not as severe, then things aren't getting worse.
They're obviously getting better.
It's getting better. So when the Ebola variant comes out, then we need to go Nick Cage.
Really, you got me.
Yeah.
I mean, we are going I Am Legend at that point.
Yes. By the way, you know what my favorite part of that movie was? And this is really because we've had these conversations about Will Smith. I do not think Will Smith is a very good actor.
I'm with you. I don't. I like him as well. I like him as a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I like him as a comedian.
I like him as a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I like him as Hitch.
Yeah.
Right? Muhammad Ali?
Not so much.
Pursuit of Happiness, which my wife loves. I'm like, you could take any top-tier black actor and replace him.
Hitchcock?
In Pursuit.
Hitchcock?
No, Hitch.
I know. But I'm talking about, have you seen Hitchcock?
No,
Hitch. No. Hancock.
That was good.
That was good.
Because he's campy and funny and stuff like that. Like, this is all good. I Am Legend. It was decent. It was one of his better TNT. It was one of his better TNT
specials,
right?
It's a TNT.
You can watch it at any point. You're in the middle of it. If you have an hour to set on fire, it's a good one. My favorite part of that movie was when his dog got bit. It's very sad too.
Yeah.
His dog got bit.
He acted his butt off on that too.
Yeah, and he's singing to the dog and he's stroking it.
Yeah, that was good acting.
And he pulls that big tough out of the dog.
Yeah.
And he realizes that it's gone crazy.
Yeah.
That 15 seconds is the best acting of Will Smith's career.
It was good. That was good acting though.
But you're right, man. We go in I Am Legend if this happens.
Ebola virus? I mean, come on, man. The Ebola variant?
That's a different story.
And don't let Democrats mask you and tell you it's the Ebola variant. Okay? It better be the Ebola variant.
Seriously.
But Wrendon, it's like after living our lives for the past year, after seeing what we've seen, traveling in certain states, like I've been to Arizona this year, and I've been to Florida a couple of times. I've been to D.C., I've been to Virginia, I've been to Tennessee. Like I've been to multiple states, so I actually have a pretty large swath of. I've been to California.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I mean a lot. To compare all this stuff too, Wrendon, I am lost.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Bill De Blasio can go on TV and say anything like this, based on what I've seen in the entire country. And Michael Shimmerkanis tried to throw him a bone.
Yeah.
If we were going to go to the Midwest, the Middle America, or like, I don't think.
And his answer is basically shut up and make them do it.
Exactly, Wrendon. He didn't even address that issue.
No.
Basically, what he said was, "They're all idiots.
Yeah,
they're all idiots. Trust me. Get vaccinated." Get a paycheck,
and we know the psychology of people.
Exactly.
So let's just cut them off completely.
So
because they're not Americans.
If we say this, we're not going to feed you or get the vaccine. That's the choices we have.
Whoa! Don't sound like America, my friend.
This is crazy.
That does not sound like America.
This is crazy.
Another blue or red pill that's going on. Sustainability, renewable energy. I don't know if you saw, but the Biden administration has now put a different renewable fuel standards out for light trucks and vehicles. So now it's bumped, and here's the thing. It's about 40% right now. Trump had bumped it up to 3 or 4% by 2023, 2024, and the Biden administration has bumped it up to like 56% far off in the distant future, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, when you think about the red or the blue pill and what we're doing as a culture, you have Rivian that has a higher market cap than General Motors right now. Which is insane,
by the way.
Okay?
They haven't even done anything.
That has a higher market cap than General Motors
crazy?
Right now. You have Tesla out there.
Yes.
You have true free...
The most valuable car manufacturer in the world.
You have true free market capitalism that is addressing the very problem that you're trying to fix. You still want to
impose, Wrendon.
No matter what the cost is to the people, no matter how much, no matter if we all have to pay $150,000 for a Rivian truck because it's the only company that's solvent in 5 years.
It's crazy.
No matter what, like this is what we're going to do. Rather than letting free markets, which are doing a great job right now, which is why two of the biggest 5 car manufacturers
are EVs,
are electric vehicle manufacturers, who are producing far less cars than any of the other big automotive makers. But that's what we're going to tell people.
It's a lie, Wrendon.
And that's what we're going to do to put American manufacturers out of business. You have the holiday season coming up, made in America. What does that really mean? Right now, you look at the Biden administration as well with solar tariffs. Solar tariffs are about to be up next year. I'm dying to see what the Obama administration or the Biden administration does.
Same thing, you got it right.
Oh, Biden administration. Remember when he said that? I'm dying to see what the administration does because on one end, we've already abrogated manufacturing to China and other places, right? Because we weren't willing to double down on our manufacturing here.
Yeah. We abdicated that rule. It's kind of sad.
So now we're in a position where you have tariffs on all of these things coming in, and because of that, all the solar developers are paying these astronomical costs to get solar panels in, which helps everything, right?
No.
So then
doesn't help everything.
So then do you say no more of these tariffs? Or do you say continue the tariffs because somehow American manufacturing will magically come back? We've boxed ourselves in the corner.
This was not the case 4 years ago, by the way.
No, this has been rolling because of Obama's policies with the solar industry as well.
It's so ridiculous,
and we box ourselves in the corner now.
Yeah.
But that's what, and once again, this national pride, it's this made in America. You know what else was made in America, Wesley? COVID vaccines were made in America.
Yeah.
Like how have we gotten to the point where we don't understand what's valuable to have here and what's valuable to import as well? Like how have we gotten to the point where we're so off kilter on that? We've gotten to this point in the oil and gas industry. Oil prices spike, gas prices spike. Yeah. And then we reactively do what we should have done before in the beginning. Protect our domestic production. It's obvious.
We were energy independent 3 years ago.
Yes. Do you see? I was reading today in the Wall Street Journal about this. At Harvard, they just built a new plant, the District Energy Facility.
Okay.
And it's a cogen plant. And if you look at the architecture, it was in the Wall Street Journal not because they just built a new cogen plant, but because the architecture of this gas plant is so beautiful. And this is the plant that's going to provide power for some of the greatest minds of the next generation as we address many of these issues, right? And it's replaced coal too. And you look at something like that, and it's like, why aren't we hearing more about this?
Right.
That's a great idea. Why are we hearing more about how this specific facility has put that part of the grid in a better place to pollute way less? Why aren't we hearing somehow gas still has to be the bad guy in this story?
Always is.
We're moving to a place where we're getting better. Why does it always have to be the bad guy? Well, if it's not solar, it doesn't count. Well, that's fine if Harvard wants to spend their whole endowment paying for energy.
Wrendon, free market capitalism always heals stuff like this. Get the government out the way. The government supplements. The government doesn't take control over everything. That's not how this works. Let's look at NASA.
Do you want me to tax it? Do you want some tariffs?
No.
Do you want me to slam?
Yeah!
Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way. Little Shaq reference. If you don't know it, look at
slam.
Yeah.
Get out the way, get out the way.
If you don't know it, look it up. We grew up in the best era, man.
We did.
This is the best era.
Let's look at NASA. NASA still exists, but now we've brought in the private sector. We brought in Elon Musk. Have you seen the improvements of our rockets in the last 5 years? Wow. Yes, we need the infrastructure. Yes, we need the funding. Yes, we need the guidelines
R&D.
and the guardrails. Yeah. Let's get this out to the private sector.
Yeah. That's what happened with the internet.
Wrendon, it's what happens with everything good in America.
Yeah.
Everything good in America doesn't come from the government. It comes from the people. We the people. Don't shut that down with draconian overreach for the government. Like stop. Yeah. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be overtaxed. Nobody wants to live in a place where we have 2 million people enter this country illegally. Wrendon, I spent 2 years in Saudi Arabia. I had to have a diplomatic passport to get in and out of the country.
Yeah.
Okay? Nobody was getting in and out of Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Nobody.
Well, and that's what we act like this is rare to actually.
No, it's crazy, Wrendon.
I mean, you wouldn't want somebody
countries look at us and they're like, "What the hell is wrong with them?"
Yeah.
Why are they letting all these illegal people in their country?
If I need to get into a bar,
man,
I need to show identification.
Man, get on a plane.
But you can just walk in the border
into the country,
and not only that, your lifestyle will be subsidized by tax-paying dollars?
Whoa, man. Man, hold up.
You got to be kidding me,
Crazy,
man.
Wrendon.
And,
Like I said,
we sound like, and we are labeled as the people who are irrational for saying this.
I don't know how this is irrational.
Like, we're the crazy people for saying this.
I know.
We're
xenophobic.
We should know. We should know who's in our country. You're racist.
You're racist. What? What? It's not how that works.
It's not how that works at all. It's not.
Here's what I will say: people are waking up. People are waking up.
You're taking the right pill, man.
People.
They're choosing a different pill.
Taking the red pill.
Yeah.
They took it in Virginia. They were blue pilled. Wink, wink. Now they're red pilled.
Yeah.
People do want freedom. They want to make their own decisions. Independents want to make their own decisions. All of a sudden, mean tweets weren't so bad. Well, I'm talking about inflation right now. We're talking about an open border. We're talking about raising taxes. We're talking about supply chain issue. We're talking about destroying the oil and gas industry. We're talking about China becoming the unipolar in this country, in the entire world right now. Yeah. We're talking about the Russian pipeline. We're talking about what happened in Afghanistan. Wrendon, we could be here all day.
Yeah.
People are taking a red pill.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Hey, I just met you.
This is crazy.
Right? It's crazy.
How hot was that song, by the way?
It was all right.
Yeah. Hey, I just met you. This is crazy. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy?
That song. Hey, I just met you. This is crazy.
Is that really crazy?
Is it really that crazy? Here's my number. Call me maybe.
You know we getting close to the holidays, man.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna play right when we get to mom and dad's house.
Yeah,
hey, I just met you. This is crazy. you know it's crazy, man.
All right.
Paying $11 billion in taxes if you're Elon Musk.
Whoa! That's crazy.
Yeah.
11 billy?
If you
Wrendon,
if you
that's
play
crazy.
if you and don't hear what I'm not saying here. If you make enough money to pay $11 billion in taxes,
we should just call
the federal government should at least send you a gift basket. Okay. I mean,
at that point, you should be capped, right? Like billion? You paid $11 billion, and the people that are like, well, he made this much, he's worth this much.
Guys.
Come on, let's be reasonable, guys.
Well, and then the crazy thing,
it's a percentage of, it's only a drop in the bucket compared to how much he's.
Well, and the crazy thing is once again it's
$11 billion.
It's when he and Elizabeth Warren got in the sparring match over. It's like, oh, you don't pay tax, blah blah blah, and that's when he released this on Twitter. He's like, hey, I'm paying the biggest tax bill of anybody in the history of the United States.
It's mine.
And and I don't. And here's what's so bad.
You know what? He wasn't going to say anything about it. By the way,
no,
he wasn't going to say anything.
He got called out.
Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, whatever. Pocahontas. Okay,
it's the holidays.
It's the holidays. Whatever. Get over
Thanksgiving's past.
Whatever.
Wesley, she identifies as a Native American. It's okay.
Fine. That'll let her be Pocahontas.
Yeah,
right?
that's what she identifies.
That's fine. You know, it's like she goes after him. And he's just like, oh, really? $11 billion. That's not right, man. I mean, I get it. He's worth 200. I got it. But I mean, I feel like Kevin Hart. Don Cheadle. He's like, 11 billion. Damn.
I didn't say that. I said, damn.
I said, damn.
11 billion. That's not how you said it. No. But that's the thing that, and once again, it goes back to this idea of even calling people out by the rules that we've established. Yeah. And I would say this about Elizabeth Warren,
who's a wealthy person, by the way.
Who's a wealthy person.
Extremely wealthy.
Or other politicians. It's like, you can't sit there and say, see, this is why the system is broken. You're the one who's been there for years who's supposed to fix it.
Whenever I hear,
this is the Joe Biden thing, right? It's
Joe
like,
Biden's
this has been wrong for 50 years.
And you've been there for 47 of them.
50 years. Like,
it's your you didn't do anything to change it?
Yeah. So now you're going
to blame Trump, who's been here for 4? You've been here for 47?
And now it's a big issue.
And now it's a problem.
And now it's a problem.
And now you're gonna fix it.
Oh, Wesley, this is.
Oh no.
This all goes back to Plessy versus Ferguson all over again. Everything is so separate but equal. And that's why Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. It's historically black colleges, right?
She's hooking them up.
It's like, okay, so white people are going to say this level of funding should be sufficient. Prairie View A&M and Texas A&M have very different definitions of what that level of funding looks like. This should be sufficient. This is okay.
Very different.
Okay. If you believe that it's good enough, get the organization up to standards. Give them the funding that they need. Yeah. And this is why Bezos' ex-wife, and I'm blanking on her name, I apologize for that.
McKinsey.
But for her saying, like, hey, as a white person, I believe in historically black colleges and what their mission are, so I'm going to give them enough money to blow up to do well with the facilities. Okay, you really believe.
I can respect that.
I can respect that.
She did more than change her profile, pick the black.
Ooh.
You see, she did something about it.
Yeah.
She did something to help out generations. Not just virtue signal and say, Black Lives Matter to me, and all this privilege is so messed up. I see you at Hermes.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. She put her money where her mouth is.
Immigrant, bring me my drink.
That's it.
You know? And make sure you have your mask on.
None
of us in the party have our masks on.
But you better
go put your mask on.
Put your mask on. You're serving us. Put your mask on. These people, Wrendon, calling them out, man. I don't want to hear it. Now, the thing about us is this, and this is why we're conservatives. This is why we're Republicans. I ain't mad at Jeff Bezos. Wrendon, I ain't mad at Elizabeth Warren. I ain't mad at you.
No.
I'm not mad at you.
But give other people
Bernie, I'm not mad at you for making money. I'm not mad at you.
Give other people the opportunities that
you've taken advantage of. That's all we ask.
Not just you.
Don't walk into the house and slam the door shut for everybody else.
Yeah. And talk about how broken the system is that you have perpetuated.
Thank you.
And you have used.
To make yourself rich and your family rich. And the capitalism by writing a book and selling it that made you a millionaire.
Yes. And you've participated in democratization of thought. Which if you didn't know, in the types of governments that he supports, they don't have that. You don't get to just write your book and put it out there and everybody.
I'm a democratic socialist. See, there's books that are put out by the government that are distributed, that are paid for by you, the people, but you take far less by taxing them, and then they make you read it.
Yeah.
See,
that's how those systems work.
That's what you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, with that,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I have some special guests. Esther and Wright, come in here. I have some special guests today. My kids.
Only Esther is special. Wright ain't special.
Oh, right. Wright went to the bathroom, so only Esther can come in. Esther, come here, sweetie. So I brought my daughter in, and she can tell you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Tell the listener Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Good job. I'm glad Wright's not here to mess it up.
So from In the Hunt, from all of ours to all of yours, have a wonderful holiday season. We will see you again.
Merry Christmas.
We'll see you again next year.
Absolutely. See you in 2022.
And remember,
take us out.
Smiles are contagious. So make someone's day.
God bless you.
God bless you.